I refused to help my stepsister with her house purchase and told her and my stepfather that it's because of how they treated me as a child. When I was 10 years old, my mom married this guy who had money, like actual money. My brother Josh was 15 at the time. The guy already had 2 daughters, Amy and Ada, who were 12 and 11. Here's where it gets stupid. My mom was working minimum wage at a grocery store, and our real dad wasn't in the picture. But our new stepdad had this whole financial setup where he and my mom would split everything 50-50 for the house, then whatever was left over, they'd use for their own kids. Sounds fair until you realize my mom had nothing left over, ever. So while Amy and Ada were going on trips to Disney World and getting new clothes every season, Josh and I were wearing hand-me-downs and staying home. The worst part wasn't even that, though. We had to share 1 bedroom in a 4-bedroom house because my stepdad said since he paid more of the mortgage, my mom's contribution only covered 1 room for her kids. Amy and Ada each had their own rooms, and there was still a whole guest room that just sat empty. They made fun of us constantly, all 3 of them. Amy would come back from vacation and show us pictures while we were eating store-brand cereal for dinner. Ada would complain about how her room wasn't big enough while Josh and I were literally stepping over each other's stuff every morning, and my stepdad would just laugh like it was all some big joke. My mom's response whenever we complained was always the same: be grateful. If it wasn't for him, we'd be living in some apartment in a bad area, as if being treated like second-class citizens in our own house was supposed to be a privilege. Josh and I made a promise to each other when I was about 14. We were going to get out and we were never going to need anything from anyone ever again. We both worked our butts off. He got into tech and I went into finance. By the time I was 25, I owned my own house. No mortgage. Josh did the same thing 2 years before me. Since I moved out at 18, I've barely talked to them. We're not friends. If I see them at some family thing, we can be in the same room without fighting, but that's about it. So last month I went to visit my mom. I try to see her maybe once every couple months because she's still my mom even though she let all that happen. My stepdad was there and he started talking about how Amy's pregnant now and wants to buy a house. He said she found this place for $500,000 but needs $150,000 for the deposit. Then he just casually asked if I could help out with it, like it was nothing. I literally thought he was joking at first, but he kept talking. He said Amy had $25,000 saved up. Her mom gave her $25,000. He was putting in $50,000, but they were still $50,000 short, and he wanted to know if Josh and I could cover it. He even said he'd pay us back eventually as part of the inheritance. I said no, just flat out no. He didn't like that. He started going on about how Josh and I both own our houses free and clear and make good money, so we should be able to help. I told him whether I can or not doesn't matter. The answer is no. That's when he brought up how Josh and I each gave our cousin $10,000 as a gift when she bought her house last year. He said Amy is my sister, and he's even offering to pay us back, so what's the problem? I told him that was our choice then, and this is our choice now. He got this tone like he was trying to guilt trip me. Said we should be willing to help family when we're able to. That's when I looked at him and said, like how you helped me and Josh when we were kids? The whole room just went dead silent. My mom stared at her lap. Amy was looking at her phone, suddenly very interested in something. My stepdad's face went red. After like a full minute, he said if he could go back, he'd do things differently. He'd treat all 4 of us equally. I said that's nice, but it doesn't mean you get my money now. He said he knows he's not entitled to it. That's why he's asking and promising to pay it back. I said he's not entitled to a loan either. The answer is still no. I left right after that.